Slamdown is sponsored by BODYSLAM and Jam, and WWE SmackTalks, and Impact Fan Nation. Welcome to Slamdown live stream. I just want to apologise about earlier about the show being cut off. I had a knock at the door, so that's the only problem. Of like I said, we do this from the fans for the fans, and sometimes that can be a bit tricky when you're doing this from home. But we're back on, so I'm going to go re-over the points I said earlier. Yes, I still stand by that I blame Disco Inferno for the dancing. Said it on the Raw review, and I still stand by it. It is Disco Inferno's fault that TJP dances and Rich Swann dances. So I will be making a meme, and I will send it to Disco Inferno. That is happening. But one thing I want to cover is the lack of creativity, as a way it could be put. Using other people's shows, not being original. The big point was kicking off SmackDown with Kevin Owens' highlight reel. To me, that just annoyed me. I think really what they should have done is have the Kevin Owens show. Instead, you're making Kevin Owens, trying to be the face of America, stealing other people's gimmicks, and just no. Just please no. Kevin Owens has always been that badass that doesn't wear suits, that beats anybody up. And that's the Kevin Owens we want. Not the Kevin Owens they're giving us. Please, to God, please stop SmackDown. Please. We don't want a face of America. We want a badass Kevin Owens that would go and beat up John Cena and wouldn't care. That's the Kevin Owens we want. Just a bad mofo. And that's the Kevin Owens the fans love. We're starting to see some progression with some characters going back to being original, like Goldust, going back to the old style of Goldust. R-Truth, go back to him being the rapper and the good guy, but instead of the bumbling idiot, which they made him out with Little Jimmy and all that silly stuff. Get away from the silly stuff. Get into serious gimmicks, serious characters. If we're going to keep going down the stupid stuff, you could expect Doink to come back. It's not what the fans want anymore. We don't want the silly stuff. We want a show that we can get engrossed in. Characters we can get passionate about. And not have people like Jinder Mahal shoved down. I'm not going to say Jinder Mahal shoved down our throats, because he's actually, he's a guy that got an opportunity. But the problem is the way he got the opportunity. He didn't, the best way they could have done him is surprising people. He's having victories, build him up. Build up so that he has so many victories that he's entitled for a title shot. It just feels, he's Indian. We need to improve over in India. Make him champion. That's all that felt like. Didn't feel special. And Jinder Mahal deserved better than that. My other problem with the WWE is storytelling. Someone else pointed this out to me, and I started thinking about it and looking at past Raw and SmackDown, and I actually agree with them. The storytelling is so basic that anybody can do it. I can't believe I've got to talk about this guy, but I've got to talk about Vince Russo. Right. Vince Russo, he's saying they're using his ideas with the original Goldust and This Is Your Life statement, which, for people that don't know, was originally done with Mankind and The Rock. Okay, if Vince Russo created them, fair play. But his mistakes are always going to overshadow his accomplishments. And the way the guy is, he's just not a light guy. He comes across as arrogant and an arsehole. Especially to me. That's all I get, is an arrogant arsehole. That's all I get from Vince Russo. And I still can't comprehend why he was in TNA for so long. I did start to think... Now, don't get me wrong on this. I did start to think that Raw was being booked by Vince Russo. Think about it. A bloody kendo stick on a pole match. As soon as that match was announced, I was thinking, yeah, Vince Russo match. Because everywhere he's gone, there's always something on a pole. It happened when he went to the UK company IPW. He made Grado in a match with Bumbag on a pole. God damn, that's what he's famous for. But getting back to SmackDown, I really can't get behind Kevin Owens. I find it piss poor. I can't understand why they would have changed his gimmick. Because he was over. He was booed to anything. Which is, you want one of your good heels to be booed that badly. I can't get my head around it. Really can't get my head around it. But like I've said, I'm not liking the way they're using Kevin Owens on SmackDown. I think I've explained why, but I'm just hoping one day that he drops the face of America. He drops the highlight reel. I want him to go around and go, I am Kevin Owens and I'm the baddest motherfucker here. I know he won't say that because of PG. But whatever way he says it, saying, I am the baddest here. This isn't Kevin Owens' highlight reel. This is Kevin Owens' show. And anybody that stands in my way, I will kick their ass. We need more, oh my God, or holy shit, or this is awesome moments back. I've never known for a crowd to be so dull. I think of a lot of restrictions the WWE have even brought in with signage. For example, I was watching some old WWE and WCW stuff. You used to see signs everywhere. Even on Free as a Table. Jim Crockett even turned around and said that Raw is better, or whatever it said. that sign that was in WCW, he even turned around to Bischoff and says, I planted that. Now when you go into a stadium, you're told what you can bring in, what you can't bring in. Fans don't have freedom anymore. And I think they even try and pull away from the fans speaking their mind. Now, for any TV show, viewership, your fans, is what makes your show works. If you don't get the numbers, your show gets cut. Simple as that. The WWE rely on, because they've been going so long, because of money, Vince McMahon's money, that they can just roll whatever they want and just think, we've got money, it doesn't matter. They're wrong. So many fans are turning away from the WWE. Yes, the NXT is good. I'm not saying NXT. I'm just on about their core programming, Raw and SmackDown. It's piss poor. Always has been. Yes, SmackDown started to get better, and then the shake-up, it's hindered SmackDown. But they're not the product they used to be. And, times have changed. We've got to roll with times are changing. But it doesn't excuse poor storytelling, poor gimmicks, and poor angles. They've got a lot of great talented wrestlers. And it annoys me when people blame the wrestlers, or blame Jinder Mahal, blame him. It's not him. People should be pointing the fingers at the writers and Vince McMahon, not the athletes. Because the athletes are done as they're told. And as we've heard from past wrestlers from that organisation have said, they tell us what to do, we do it. That's how it works. If we want that to change, then we need to make a stand. Simple as. But I'm really not digging Kevin Owens. And that's not Kevin Owens' fault. Again, it's not Owens' fault. It's the person that's writing his stuff and picking the way he looks. That's what it comes down to. And that kind of stuff has got to change. If it doesn't change, it's going to be same old, same old. I like Shinsuke Nakamura as a wrestler. Mic work is not there. Not because he's not a good mic talker. I think it's more of a language barrier. A lot of people would say sticking with a manager. But then I can't really see a manager working well with Shinsuke. Because he is a phenomenal talent. His in-ring ability is fantastic. And I will agree with what Bischoff and Cornette said. We've got a hybrid of wrestlers. Compare to the last lot of wrestlers, the performance in the ring is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But the writers need to do so much better. But we also saw Baron Corbin come down. We saw Sami Zayn come down. Ended up in a brawl, which later led into a match with Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn taking on Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin. And actually, the match itself was pretty impressive. I did get slightly bored of seeing Kevin Owens go against Sami Zayn. But minus that, I quite enjoyed the match. And this is the one thing that I will say about the WWE. The storytelling, the gimmicks might not be great, but the matches are. I've called it TNA syndrome. Some people, I know I'm going to get some nasty comments for saying that, but think about it. Really, really think about it. When Dixie Carter was running Impact Wrestling, what was the problem? Storytelling and gimmicks. What was good? Matches. You know, you look at the Hardys, the Dudleys, and the Wolves. Absolutely phenomenal match. You know, probably still one of my favourite matches from Impact Wrestling. But then the storytelling, everything else was piss poor. And that's the same thing that's going on in the WWE. The matches are fantastic, but everything else is poor. You know, look at the crowd. The crowd are so dull. There's no engagement with the audience anymore. There's a little bit of cheering and booing, but that's it. There's no chants going. There's no... It's quite bland. It really is. If you look at old footage of like Raws from years ago, even if you flick from WCW, you know, used to love hearing the fans roar. And I'm hating to say this again. I'm going to have to say it. The only time that I hear the fans roar through the whole show is in Impact Wrestling. In the WWE, to me, the fans are too quiet. Yes, they do pop for certain people. They do sing some certain songs for some people. But that's about it. And if that's all you got, then you need to worry. You need to worry and thinking, why are the fans not engaging in everything? What are they not engaging in? What's not coming off well? That's what you need to look at. You know, as long as they don't add more dancing wrestlers, I'm going to say it again because I said it before. Thank you, Disco Inferno. As long as we have they start making everybody dance again. Just no, please no. I will give it that SmackDown was a lot better than Raw. Raw was an average show. No, I've actually changed my mind again. I'm going to put them both on the same par. They were both average. But average is not good enough. I know they're trying to appeal to the Indian audience, but I'm sorry, Impact beat you to it. Impact did a show in India. And India is the main reason that Impact through the hard times was still going, because of their viewing figures. But anyway, the match was quite good. I quite enjoyed the ending with Kevin Owens getting pinned by Shinsuke Nakamura. So far, Shinsuke hasn't lost. So they're doing a good build-up. I think he will be one of the guys going for the main title in the end. Money in the Bank, I want it to be Sami Zayn, Shinsuke, or AJ Styles. I want one of them to win. Don't want it to be Baron Corbin. Don't want it to be Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens has had enough with the Universal title. I think Kevin Owens should wait a little bit, bring him back to the Owens fight, the badass Kevin Owens. We saw the Usos in the ring talking about Breezango behind them. Quite actually a really good promo. And then, finally, after waiting so long, the New Day are on SmackDown Live. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of the New Day. I've never really have been a big fan of the New Day. I do still feel it's too childless. Childless? Still, see, look, making me, my anger's making me mess up my words. No, it's. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. It feels like it's made for children. It doesn't feel like this group's for your wrestling fans. You know, dancing around about unicorns and what? Sorry, back in the olden days, if you was dancing around about unicorns, You'd be the jobber that gets beat every night. It's... Sometimes chain wrestling's good, but this is not. I would rather this be more of a serious team than all the jokey with a who. Please don't. Oh. I'm just not a big fan of the New Day. I think they work well together as a team, but I'd like them to be a bit more serious. I don't know. I just don't really buy New Day as a team, in my opinion. But saying that, in ring, I like them as performers, just not the whole New Day gimmick. I think it's getting boring now. It's just meh to me. But they announced that they were taking on the Usos at Money in the Bank for the titles, which is another thing that has annoyed me. That they haven't worked hard to get a title shot. They just get given one because they're the New Day, which to me is, again, bad. You know, just because they were a great success on Raw doesn't mean they can be a great success on SmackDown. Again, I've said this for a long time. I think they need to be built right. They need to be used correctly. You know, you've got to build someone up. You know, I would have rather seen them have a couple of matches, get a couple of wins, and then build up to challenge the Usos, not just be thrown in it because they're the New Day. I just don't agree with going that route. But like I said, it's personal preference, but that's how I feel. I feel they would have been a lot better to take their time and had been more of a build to them than chucked in the deep end. I was going to say something else now, but my mind has just gone blank. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to that match. I really don't know. I do feel it's going to be a bit of a meh match. But then, like I've just said, the New Day in the ring performed brilliantly. Just not with the whole New Day. Feel the positivity. Like I said, I just feel it's childish. I feel that they can do a lot better. After that, we had the 5-way elimination match, which never really happened. The match never really got started. They all just started attacking each other, and then it led to it just being bonkers. Like I said, there was just attacked each other, and then led into a match being made, which was basically what we all knew was going to happen, which was a Money in the Bank match for the Money in the Bank briefcase for the women's division. Now, you've got every female athlete on your roster in it, except minus Naomi, so that means your women's title's not going to be on the line at Money in the Bank, just like the US title's not going to be on the line, because Kevin Owens is in the Money Bank main event. Or I don't know if it's main event or if Jinder Mahal Randy Orton's going to be main event, but to me it doesn't matter. It just seems a bit silly. We did see Fandango walking through the corridors, going into the Fashion Files office, if you want to call it, where they noticed everything's been destroyed and there was cologne left. Hinting it was the colognes that destroyed their office, which led into the match. I'm trying not to be too critical. I really am. But like I say, anything I say here, don't forget to comment, because I like reading people's comments and people's opinion. I quite like Breezango. I quite like their comedy side. Even when it came to the match where you saw Tyler Breeze keep changing costume, to me, that's sort of comedy wrestling should have. Not just being, we're positivity and all this. I'm trying not to be too hard, but no, I quite like the Breezango, the way they're portraying, the way they're running that gimmick. It doesn't feel stale, it doesn't feel boring. I'm wondering who Tyler Breeze is going to be next. So it's got me invested. A lot more invested than I am with the New Day. But we did see Breezango getting the victory in this. After that, we saw Randy Orton speaking for the first time since Backlash. But as he was speaking, he was saying he's going to be like his previous generations. He's not going to talk how he's going to beat Jinder Mahal. He's just going to do it. And we saw Jinder Mahal coming on screen, saying stuff back. I really did lose interest in this, to be honest, firing stuff back. But we did see Jinder Mahal saying he would unleash the golden era of the modern day Maharaja, whatever, at the WWE Money in the Bank. Okay, fair enough. It wasn't a big point for me. I wasn't really that bothered by it. But after that, we had Dolph Ziggler taking on AJ Styles. My boy, the phenomenal one. As everybody knows, I'm a big fan of AJ Styles. I won't say I'm a mark, because I appreciate different companies, different wrestlers, but I have followed AJ since his... actually, the first time I saw AJ Styles, I can remember it now, was WCW. I know he was in a stupid gimmick, but that's why I remember first saw AJ Styles in the ring, and then I saw him in TNA before they had Spike TV, when they were just... I can't remember what channel they were with the US, but they were on a channel called the Wrestling Channel in the UK, and I saw AJ Styles then, when Impact was sort of on the first realms of starting its product. And I've always been a big fan, and I'm happy that AJ Styles is in the WWE, because I think he deserves it. He's put a lot of hard work in. He's an amazing talent. He's probably not at his best. He's probably past his best. We don't see as much as high-flying skills as we did in the past, but he's still one great talent. I'm a bit surprised that they went with Dolph Ziggler beating him, but I understand it. I understand that they wanted everybody to be built up for the Money in the Bank, so people can't predict saying, oh, he's going to win, that person's going to win. That's the way it's going to be. They're sort of trying to make everybody win and lose, so that when it comes to Money in the Bank, you have no idea who's going to win. I can tell that they're sort of going that way with it, which is nice. It's nice they're trying not to be too predictable, because when a product is predictable that's when a product gets boring. But like I said, overall, it was an average show. There was a lot of moments that ruined it for me, especially the start of the show. But I can't think of anything else to say. We will be back at Sunday at 9 p.m. GMT, covering everything Impact Wrestling. I just want to say to my Impact Wrestling co-host, Charles, hope your legs gets better soon. We're missing you, so hope you can be back on Sunday. Also, on Sunday, I will be doing my predictions, probably about 6 PM GMT, either 6 or 7 PM GMT, because I want to do it quite before I start the Impact show, but there'll be more on Twitter. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I wanted to cover quickly? Can't think of the top there, but on Monday there will be a show, because we'll be doing the sorry, it's not Money in the Bank coming, is it? Sorry, no, it's not. It will be Extreme Rules predictions and also Extreme Rules review show on Monday 9 PM GMT. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, which is at Slamdown Live, and also on our website, which is slamdown.co.uk. I've been your host, Ashley Friend, and I'll see you again on Sunday.